I'm going to show you how to make some bone broth soup. My grandma used to make this. Her name was Stella, and she said it was the healthiest soup on the planet, better than Botox. So all you do is go to your butcher and get a whole lot of different bones. We need lamb bones, we need beef bones, and you need chicken frames, and we mix the whole lot together. And look for the bones that have got marrow in it, really important. So you throw all those into a roasting pan. There's the chicken frame, throw the chicken frame in. If you can find some specials, there's some lamb neck with the bone in the middle of it. As I said, we need to get that marrow, that collagen out of the bones. Now we're going to throw it in the oven. So preheat your oven to about 200. Throw them in there and look, let them cook for about 20 minutes. After 10 minutes, just turn them over. So let's get the vegetables underway while the bones are cooking. You only need 4 vegetables, 4 basic vegetables. You need your onions, you need your celery. Now the best part of the celery is the leaf. Don't throw that away. There's probably more nutrition in that leaf than there is in the stalk. So just throw a handful of leaf in. Some carrots, you need the carrots. Just don't even skin them, just break them in half like that. Throw about 2 or 3 carrots in like that. And then you need some garlic. Look, take the skin off the garlic because we can eat some of this later. I've already done that. You need 1, 2, probably 3 garlic. Might be a good idea actually just to cut those in half so the flavour of the garlic comes out. Right, so throw those in. Onions, right, take the skin off the onion. So you've got your carrot, your onion, there it is, just throw it all in there together and then let's go and check and see if the bones are cooked. Right, 20 minutes are up. So you take the bones out. Why do they roast the soup bones? Well, I'll tell you why, because it gives a really deep, rich flavour and it also caramelizes the bone and it caramelizes the marrow. Now the secret to cooking bone broth is the time you cook it. I'm going to use a pressure cooker. You can use a slow cooker if you've got a slow cooker. You've got to cook it for at least 24 to 48 hours. I don't in a pressure cooker. In a pressure cooker you can cook for 8 hours. And that's what I normally do, around about 8 hours. Put all the meat into your pressure cooker, right, on top of a bit of water. And then what you do is you add into the bones some apple cider. Why apple cider? Because it's an acid and it draws out the collagen in the bones. So how much do you put in? A tablespoon. About that much. About that much. That was a tablespoon. And then what we do is we put all our vegetables in. Just throw them in. Vegetables, your celery, your carrot, your onions, and your garlic, and then squash it down. Squash it down like that. That's good. And then what you do is you top it up with water. Whoops, in the pot, not outside. Top it up just till it just covers that's enough, just till it covers the vegetables. And then add some pepper, a little bit, not too much, don't go overboard. Bit of pepper. Don't worry about salt because there's a lot of salt in the bone. And then I'm going to put it into my pressure cooker. And I'm going to cook that for about 8 hours. As I mentioned, the most important thing is the cooking of it. So if you've got a slow cooker, 24 hours, in a pressure cooker, because it's so intense, you can do it in 8 hours. Hi guys, welcome back. Well, it's the next day and the bones have been brewing for 8 hours. We're going to take the lid off those in just a few moments. I'm going to cook some noodles, well they're cooking now actually, some fat noodles. Doesn't hurt to have a bit of carbohydrate, not much protein, but carbohydrate just gives the soup a little bit of body. So they're just about ready. Let's take a look at them. And there they are, beautiful fat noodle. So I'll drain those and we'll put that into the bone broth. Let's go and have a look at the bone broth now. So those of you that own pressure cookers, you know what to do. Just make sure, whoops, make sure all the steam is out. We'll just give that a second. So let's take this off. And oh wow, look at that. Oh, and smells great. Smell that. Can you smell that? Absolutely delicious. Right, what we do now is just take it over to the sink, and this is where we drain and strain. What I do, whoa, do it very gently, it's very hot. And there's all the bones. I drain it twice. So look, we'll just let that come out. And then after it goes, I'll show you in a sec, and then I put it in, I strain it through this. So what we do is just, whoops, very carefully, just take the bones out, like that. Make sure all that beautiful juice, I mean, this is the healthiest soup ever. Full of nutrition, boost your immune system, put that over there, and look, you can eat this. There's so much meat on it and vegetable, you can eat, absolutely delicious. Here's what we do, we take this and then you strain it again. So I strain, I'll show you why. So I strain this again like that. Beautiful, gee, it smells great. And then, see that? You get all that out. Now that, it's not ready yet. This is the most important, just move these noodles out the way. This here, there's your bone broth soup. But the important part now, look, it's very liquid. I want you to see what it looks like after it's cooled down. And that's the good part, the collagen, the nutrient, the immune booster. Now it's really important to make sure your bone broth cools down overnight if you've got that much time, because what happens, it solidifies the animal fat on top. See all this? We want to take all this fat off. Just lift it off like this, and then what are you left with? All right, so what are we left with? Pure collagen. There it is, it's a jelly. And collagen is full of protein, and protein has amino acid, and amino acid is good for your bone strength and your immune system. So what we do is we get some of that fat noodle we cooked. You need your carbohydrates. Top it up with some collagen, bone broth. Collagen, there we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a cheese floater on top. A treat. Let's go and make one. The cheese floater that we make at the Hobart Town Tea Rooms, we use a nice thick slice of bread, and then we get our scone cutter, and you cut out a nice circle. The thicker it is, the nicer it floats. And then you just put a little bit of butter on. The butter sinks into it when you're grilling it and just makes it nice and tasty. We then have a combination of cheeses. We use a tasty cheese and a mozzarella. Mozzarella is great for melting. And you just put a little bit on top. Not too much. Oh yeah, but you put a little bit extra on, Ron, because I love cheese. And then we just sprinkle it with some sweet paprika. That's our secret. And then we just throw it under the griller for a couple of minutes. So while the cheese floater is toasting, I've warmed up the soup. Now look what happens now. See, it just turns into a beautiful liquid. We get out, I've made one for myself and one for my darling wife. And then you get your cheese floater. There it is there, see? Beautiful, that just floats on top like that. Get yourself some cut parsley, just get some parsley, cut it up, sprinkle it on top like that. Wow! And then, before I give it to her, just try it. Oh, I feel so strong. So what we're doing is we're supplying takeaway, of course, and bone broth soup. Hold on, the scones are cooked. Let's get those out. Right, and of course we'll bake some scones for you on order if you call us. 6 beautiful fluffy scones as fresh as they come. You give us 30 minutes notice and we'll have those ready for you. Back here, I'll just put those there, and back here what we're doing is, alarms going off everywhere, and what we do is we're getting our bone broth soup ready for you. These hold about half a litre, so we put noodles in those. And look, when you get these, best to do, even though they're a biodegradable container, take them home, put them in a soup bowl, and then heat them for about 3.5 minutes on high. And that's it. Thank you, Gran. Thank you, Mum. My Gran's name was Stella. Stella's bone broth soup supplied to me and all the other kids. That back in those days, though, they used rabbit. Stella's pure bone broth. With fat noodle, she didn't put fat noodle in it, and she didn't put a cheese floater in. It took her 24 hours. Back in those days, you're using a pressure cooker, only 10 hours. Contains natural collagen, gelatin that will cushion your joints, coat your digestive tract, and smooth your skin. So give it a go. And if you haven't got time to give it a go, why not come and try ours at Hobart Town Tea Rooms?